Hello, hello! Welcome in and welcome back. I am OK Repeat, and we are here with Kentucky Route Zero. When last we left off, we were here and there along the Echo. It was an intermission episode, and admittedly it was a bit monotonous at times. We were just basically on the phone the entire time. Oh my gosh, so much talking on the phone. But I hope we gained some good insight on what can be found in Act 4, because last time Conway and Shannon got deep into debt, and I am kind of concerned about that. But now we're off to hopefully deliver that last package finally. But to do that, we had to get on a boat. Such a fabulous boat. I love boats. And people reading books on boats. It's electronic manual 5-4 context backlash. Journal wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skippage. Well, I guess there could be slippage. Well, this is not at all helpful. Manual. If left unresolved, gear slops on can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. I'm assuming Will here, this is Will, is reading a manual trying to fix his little robot friend. See also sections 1.8 general troubleshooting and 5.3 gesture context. Troubleshooting, okay. Gesture context. Okay, what else is in here? General troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. Oh, of course. That would be me if I were there. General troubleshooting techniques include hammering with something plastic until the tone becomes apparent, chiseling out a small hole and feeling for changes in resonance, or listening until the hue clears up. Well, of course we all knew that. That's why you and I would not need the general troubleshooting section. Well, that'll do, book. He throws the manual into the river. Must be missing a page or something. Maybe I ought to read it back to front. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? Junebug, I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. Junebug, time to put that mammoth out to pasture, Will. Well, I don't at all blame you, especially down here, on the waters, I mean. Sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight? Junebug, just tagging along. I always end up here eventually, so she's been before, but she didn't know how to get here. Well, the river is like that. It's always been. We picked you up the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Does he know her? Junebug, yeah, you've been there, the Zero? Junebug, the Bureau has great acoustics. So is the Bureau not in the Zero? Like, I thought the Bureau was like an alternative dimension, just like mirrored to our dimension. Like, here's our dimension, here's the Zero, like right next to each other. And I thought the Bureau was in the Zero. But this says maybe not. Confusion. The Bureau has great acoustics. You've got that right. Wow, I could sit in there for hours. Just listen to my breath reverberate through that weird architecture. Still, it's always good to be back on the river. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less, alone. But you've had your friend, the robot here. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Not concerning at all. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Well, you just met possibly Junebug, an old friend, on a familiar shore. Who knows, though, what the future will bring. The Mucky Mammoth. Will Kate. Let's check on Kate. Oh, is that another dog up there? Who all is here? Who are you, Kate? Kate, how's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Yes, in the intermission we learned all about that hard water and weird water. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. Let's mix up some turkey tail fungus, peppermint, and the caterpillar fungus. Just add toad and that'd be a love potion. I'm teasing. Or am I? What are all those for? How far are we from Dogwood Drive? Eye strain, turkey tail fungus masks the taste of the rest of it. Caterpillar fungus in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom-based. I'm a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. Is that your dog? Yeah, that's Valkyrie. I'd call her Val. She's a rescue. Isn't she dignified? I've always thought so. Very dignified. I think that dog name fits that dog very well. Is that your cat too, below deck? Huh? I thought that was your cat. He came on board with you at the bureau. Oh yes, that cat I wanted to feed, but wouldn't accept the bread I gave it. Such a snooty cat. Well, it wouldn't be the first time some strange animal hitched a ride. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. Ooh. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual. I mean, weird. Watch out, that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I couldn't take a look. What kind of weird tapes? Shannon would be more interested in the VCR. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Literally. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up to the next stop here. Just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something. Whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Just make sure they don't get too strained, I guess. Dignified dog. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, Shannon should be good helping out with the mammoth. She knows some electronics, which in this world is pretty good. I mean, I could hear it grinding really slowly, but what else is wrong with it? Will singing quietly. Are we on mold and whiskey fed? And that song is quite a classic in this world. To Shannon. Oh! Wet gears. Shannon, wet gears? Did you build this thing? Wet gears. Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried, anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and then I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound, but her trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanging, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? Kate was asking if you needed anything when we stopped. How do you two know each other? What's your story, Will? We'll get hopefully a chance to ask if he needs anything, but I want to know about how they know each other. He's forgetful, so I doubt he would know about what his story is. Will, so, ever walked through a rolling farmland? Just drove, I guess. Sure, along the highway. Along the highway. That's what I mean. Or smaller roads. Well, I sure did. I slipped over fences and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted and tilled the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud to Zola at the university. Didn't I click the one saying, what's your story with her, not your story? Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and as soon I was drifting along the echo. It ran for a while above ground then. It doesn't anymore. But I prefer the subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drawing gears, I guess. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Ezra, where'd you leave your eagle friend? Shannon, whoa, slow down. Let's slippery up on deck. Ezra, do you have batteries? Shannon, yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Shannon, oh fun. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Shannon hears 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Ezra, thank you. Wait, Will, I need to... Oh, I'm Ezra now. Will, you got your batteries, small man. Go get you some tape. Okay, now I can move. I couldn't move for a second. I can't move again. Oh, I forgot how this game works, that you have to click where you want to go. Well, I guess let's go over here. Taking the long way. So yeah, we're taking this boat. Just looping around to see if there's anything else first. Oh, so I could go in any door. Taking this boat and we're gonna get to Dogwood Drive. Or so I hope. Can I go up here? Can I go see Valkyrie? The most dignified of dogs? I don't think I can. Is this one also Valkyrie? Are there 2 dogs? Is Valkyrie a double entity? Well, let's go down the stairs. Get that tape recorder. Oh, that was a cool way of doing that. See Valkyrie up there? Uh-oh. Before we go that way to deal with that problem, let's talk to some musicians. Junebug must be happy. To Junebug, really? Junebug, you were entranced. You don't remember this? Johnny saying, really? Junebug saying you were entranced? Clara, it's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Junebug, Kyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Johnny, all right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Clara, well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. Johnny to Ezra, that was fast. Got some batteries? Let's see. Perfect, this one will do. So you hit this button over here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I'll bet you find a lot of good sounds just around this tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes to the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Ezra, how long is the trip? To Clara, are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Junebug, yeah, Clara here came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Oh, nice. Clara, haha, it's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, and then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Junebug, brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it. And Johnny, he was moved. But he doesn't remember it. Johnny, speaking of Kyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Junebug, well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. Johnny, 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. Clara, I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon and I don't want to keep them waiting. Junebug, nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Johnny to Ezra, hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. Claire, I often use found sounds in my music. If you find something interesting tonight, you can help me out. That seems like an interesting proposal. Hello, kitty cat. You see? Look at him. His arm now. His arm has changed into... I mean, record that. Listen to the cat. We got a good cat. But I'm a bit more concerned. Oh, we've switched. I didn't realize we were switching. Now, the leg switching, if I'm not controlling this, makes sense, but his arm being turned into a skeleton does not make as much sense. Conway, how you feeling, bud? Conway. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Fresh air? Neither can I. Maybe you should slow down. Neither can I. Haha. Damned noisy river. It's just that thing about... What was it? When you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something and as soon as... Hopefully that's the mammoth. As soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. I actually read an interesting paper about this. Basically our minds, like... But basically, like, for lack of better words, they load a chunk, and then we have quest lines, basically, to use other verbiage tied to whatever is in that chunk. But when you exit a room, the doors act as gateways in your mind to different chunks, so your brain has to rework and load. Like, out in nature, there aren't that many doorways or chunks between loaded areas, so it's a bit easier. But if you think really hard about what you want to do as you go through a doorway, you're less likely to forget it. But I think there's something more going on here because the other dude was saying that he forgets a lot about things. And so I think there's more going on here. You have to walk back out just to remember. Like, you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. Conway, you driving for hours. Get any sleep? Just resting my eyes for a minute. I had a weird dream. You found beer. Oh, that is true. He was an alcoholic. We gotta address that. There's a cooler full down there. They say it just floated by, if you believe that. Got caught in some netting and they hauled it aboard. A bounty. Anyway, there's a sign by the cooler. Take what you need and leave the rest. Shan leans over the railing and looks at the river below. There's all kind of trash down there. It does look cold, doesn't it? Did you see Ezra go in? Oh yeah, he's poking around with that tape recorder. Exploring. Ken, should I be worried? He seems to keep himself entertained. Yeah, these two have just like randomly gone on an adventure in one night. I think it's in one night. And adopted a kid. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Do you really have to go to work at our times? The drinking bothers me more. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did and then I didn't. And then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out, finally wind up back at Lysette's with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sisters now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyways. Oh, because she has Alzheimer's. That's right. One time she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. I came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it, and she said I didn't have to deserve it. Shan, she sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. So you'll go to the distillery instead. Oh, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. That girl was wild. I guess she's got her own problems now. I wish I could help out. Hey, maybe I could make some money and send it to her sister. Maybe they'll keep me on at the distillery, oh. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I don't think you want to stay on at the distillery. Like, you were there for like a few hours and got yourself in deep debts. You want to stay there longer with your leg and now your arm? I've got to repay my debts. Well, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Heavy, heavy. Is no one going to acknowledge his arm or leg? Like, she's all like, hey, you're in debt now. Like, slavery debt style. And, hey, you're drinking again, but... do I have any control on this? Nope. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as we hear. Twice as much as that. We're only telling you half the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there. And that's the hardest part of taking a photograph, anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? I think this is Will speaking. Now, I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop row up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him and I suspect sampled his wares. One night, when I was working at the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers heading down to a mail drop by the style of Late Reflections. I knew of a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians who I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Oh no, you did not just disrespect Blue like that. Blue is a saint and you are lucky that we let him even touch your smelly boat. Ah, offended. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. So this is Will of the future talking about us now in the past is what I'm getting. Relaying the story to who? Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Oh no! Decisions. Well, in theory we're gonna have more time on the boat, but not as much time in the gas station. So let's go to the gas station together.